James Harrison died while cycling to work on a COVID ward in Edinburgh. He was hit by a van. The nurse's friends and colleagues who've been holding a minute's silence today say safety measures have to vastly improve for pedestrians and cyclists as we're urged to avoid public transport. Here's LauraPiper.
A minute's silence for an NHS hero. It's been a week since James Harrison lost his life at this busy junction in Edinburgh. Colliding with a van while out cycling, the 36-year-old father of two had been volunteering in an intensive care unit to help with COVID-19. Today, his colleagues and friends paid their respects, turning the pedestrian lights red at the junction where he died and taking over the road in tribute to him.
Just anger and sadness all at once to see this happen to somebody who was a good person and doing the right sort of thing. You know, we stood out in the streets and clapped for these people for weeks. We're just absolutely dreadfully sorry for the waste of a really good father and a husband and a coach.
This is the second high-profile road death in a week in the city. 3-year-old Xander Irvine was killed on Tuesday when a car driven by a 91-year-old mounted a pavement in Morningside. Today, his parents released a statement saying they felt like their hearts had been ripped out, describing him as a bubbly and intelligent boy who loved his books and Lego. Today's minute's silence was followed by an NHS clap in tribute to James Harrison. But with two tragic road deaths in the city so close to each other, the feeling of those gathered was also of frustration and a determination that more needs to be done to keep cyclists and pedestrians safe.
I'm just really sad and angry about what's happening at the moment. I think there have been 5 people knocked down either off their bikes or on the pavement, and this little boy in Morningside was just too much.
James Harrison actually lived in the ward that I represent in Edinburgh. He took part in a survey that I ran earlier just as lockdown started, and in that survey he said he wanted safer communities, he wanted safer routes to school for kids, and he wanted safer roads right through the city so people can get to work.
NHS Lothian described Mr Harrison as a much-loved and respected team member who would be truly missed. LauraPiper, STV News, Edinburgh.